What's going on, YouTube? It's Eli here, and behind me we have my Type R. And today I'm going to show you guys how to basically install the M-styled spoiler on the Type R, FK8. We're going to do a run around of my car so you guys can take a look at it, and then basically we're going to go inside and take a look at this wing. So this is the car we're going to install the M-style spoiler on. It's actually really simple to do. We're making this video for the people that aren't very tech savvy, but we don't want you guys to spend a lot of money basically taking the car and to get done by a professional when really it's really not that hard. So let's go inside and put the spoiler together. Okay, so in front of me we have the M-style spoiler. Sorry, I got my phone right here in the way. But anyways, you got your sides. Basically, really nice, really nice carbon fiber material. Weave is very pretty on it. You got your inner mounting bracket. This basically covers the bracket on the side. Also gets bolted on. And then you got your top fin. Really nice stuff. And obviously, you got your bag of hardware here. I'm going to open up this bag here shortly. And yeah, that's just a company decal. What's up? Yes, but we're going to get this, get all the stuff opened up and put together. I'll show you guys how we piece these wings together. Okay, so we got all the bolts sectioned off by themselves on the table here, and we are going to get started. And I'd say the best way to start is the smaller brackets at the bottom, smaller mounting brackets at the bottom. Obviously, you want to make sure that all these holes align, and we'll get 3 bolts in there. Okay, for some of the tools you guys are going to need, you're going to need a 10 mil ratchet, however you want to look at it. And you're going to need an Allen key, but in this case I have a star bitted screwdriver, so it'll work for me on this. Make sure you get these holes lined up. You want to keep the hardware on the inside, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so just so you guys get an idea, we're not going to leave it like this, it's just so you get an idea. Once this plate gets put on and bolted up, it's going to leave a hole here, and you guys are going to be a little confused. But that hole is for this to mount. Now, it mounts down here in the bottom where that hole is. And you don't need a nut for this one. This one just goes straight through. So you'll be confused when you look at your hardware. You'll be like, I don't have enough nuts for my bolts. No, you have enough. Now, this piece does not get mounted until you mount the spoiler to the actual car. So meaning until we're outside and sending the bolts down into the actual mounting bracket, basically, if we'll go back here, basically sending these bolts down into the actual mounting bracket. Until we do that, that piece does not get mounted. So basically that piece gets mounted when it's on the car. Alright, so we're going to tighten these up. Now, with carbon fiber, you don't want to over tight because you don't want to crack, but you want it to be tight. Don't over tight because you don't want it to crack the carbon, but you don't want it to be loose neither. So just be very cautious when you tighten these bolts up. Alright. Okay, the cool thing about this spoiler, it gives you a lot of extra mounting points. So if you want the spoiler to poke up more, you'd go to that front bolt at the top and it'll poke up higher, but you would have bolted at the very bottom. Now if you want it very even but low, you go straight through the middle. If you want it extremely high, you go straight through the top. So what I did is I want it to poke up just a slight bit, but I want it lowered so the fins pop up a little bit more. So I went with the first at the very bottom and very bottom at the back. We'll see how it looks. Alright guys, so in front of me we now have basically the spoiler is completely assembled. Now, like I said, you want to go back and check on your bolts, your nuts, make sure none of them are too loose. Don't over tighten, you don't want to crack the carbon like I said. But yeah, we're good. Now we're gonna go over to the car. You can't even see the car; it's so bright outside. We're gonna go over to the car and get that stock spoiler off. Boom, boom, boom. All right, guys. So we got the car opened and ready to go. I don't have my plastic pieces on here because I had a different spoiler on there, and I just haven't put the plastic pieces on there. Don't mind the wiring. This is all the wiring that comes with the HRS taillights. So they usually get hidden under the plastic pieces. That's why they look like this. My plastic pieces are off. Basically, get off your stock spoiler. You're going to need a 10 mil, and these are the two bolts right here on each side. So I got a power guns, power tools, whatever.
You mean hold the wing?
No. So you don't have to stress as much because the stock spoiler still has clips. So it would be preferably to do it with two people, but the wing is still clipped in spot. So what I'm going to do is just loosen it, and then I'm going to drop it down a little bit and take the bolts off. So I'm not going to take them completely off with the gun. Now these bolts are extremely long.
Front tires here. Your tires are here. Oh.
Alright, so we got that done. We'll get on to step 2 here.
After you get your tires?
Yeah. These bolts up. Alright, so now I got these loose, we're basically going to hand spin these bolts and get them out. You want to kind of keep even though it's on a... that one didn't come out too well. Even though it still has a clip, you kind of want to keep your hand on the spoiler a little bit. Alright, there we go, we should be good now. Alright, well, that one's out.
They're pretty long, huh?
Yeah, the other ones are long as well. I don't think they're that long though. Alright, see what I'm saying? This side's not going to go anywhere because it's still clipped into place. But you still want to be on the safe side and hold the spoiler down while you take these out. Once again, I got to hit it again. Came out.
That's easy. Just let it fall out, bro.
Alright, now we're going to bring the trunk down. Feel the spoiler moving.
Yep.
And right out.
Out with old.
Ew, it looks nasty under there. What's going on, YouTube? So we're going to give you a little explanation of what we did here so far. We got the spoiler pre-mounted, but the spoiler also has the option to go for regular FK8, which would be just a regular sport hatch. Now, we reused our stock bolts. Now, the only thing is with the stock bolts is they're a little bit longer than we expected. So you are going to have to use a split washer and add it at the bottom of the stock bolt, like so. So basically, if you come in over here, we added that split washer here just to offset a tiny bit of the rest of the bolt poking out on this opposite side. Kind of want to get this bolt to be flush. The reason we want to get this bolt to be flush is the piece that covers over here, you don't want it to poke too much. And we'll go on to the other side so you can see an example. This piece right here covers all your hardware. So if that bolt pokes out too much, the reason why we use the split washer is to keep it from accessing out. Now it's still going to hold your spoiler perfectly in place, to let you know that right now. But that's the whole purpose of using that. Now for the FK8, these spoilers come with the correct hardware for the FK8, so you don't really need to worry about the stock bolts. Now for the Type R, you're going to have to do this procedure. And basically, a split washer at the bottom of the bolt, pull it up, get all this other stuff. Basically, you want to get these two bolts mounted into place from bottom up.
You can go ahead and mount that one.
Bring it out. Nope, let me go grab it.
It's right there.
Huh?
We just need the nut. You have the nut with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. We're going to go ahead and put this on
Show me the
now.
bolt.
Basically, you want to put that split washer there, and the bolt's going to go at the top.
Okay.
Now, the nuts that they give you will go onto these bolts, so don't worry. Alright. See how it pokes through. Alright, we got it on there. Now, probably makes fun of me because I like using power tools.
Manual.
I'm going to tell you right now, don't do this at home. But if you do use a power tool, please go slow.
Always use manual. Especially with carbon fiber.
Alright.
That's the job done.
Gets the job done instead of spinning 5,000 hours a day. Alright, you just want to make sure that they're really nice and tight. Once you got it nice and tight here, everything looks right. You're going to go get that cover piece. I'll go inside and grab it real quick. Alright guys, so before we mount this piece on, we just wanted to let you know that not all carbon fiber fits exactly the way it should be. So there is very minor adjustments needed on this one to get this one to fit nicely. We shaved just a tad bit on the inside because it was a little further out than expected. But we'll show you why. So this piece obviously needs to sit onto here like so. The reason we had to shave this top piece just a slight bit is because it was hitting against this top piece and was poking out.
It's hitting that piece right there.
This top piece right there.
So you can also adjust. You can loosen these 3 bolts, and you can adjust your wing. You can push the wing up a little bit.
Well, I think they're tightened.
They're tightened already?
Yeah, they're tightened already.
Okay. All right, so we'll should go in.
Fine. Let's just do a little test run of the shaving. Okay.
Why are there all these gnats?
Find it.
Huh? What are you trying to find?
There you go. And she's on. Now, from the bottom of these, you would have double-sided tape. Basically, it's just to keep from the water from going to the stock holes and whatnot, and to give it a nicer, clean look. But, so what she looks like mounted. Now, like I was saying to you guys earlier, these holes allow you guys to adjust your spoiler in whichever way you want. So if you were to, for example, take this bottom bolt out and bring it to the top, it'll give that spoiler more of an aggression. If you wanted to do straight middle, it'll give the spoiler straight. If you wanted to do even higher, it's going to give it a... It all depends on what kind of level of airflow you want to go through the spoiler. But other than that, I mean, you can't go wrong with this M-style spoiler. And for the price, it's awesome. Very beautiful. What you think, Charlie? You like it?
Yeah, it looks good.
Alright guys, so there we have it. It's on there and it's beautiful. I definitely like it. The weave and everything of the spoiler. I mean, to think sometimes these carbon pieces you have to do a lot to. We didn't have to really mess with it that much. And it just gives it a nice aftermarket look. Not too aggressive of a spoiler on the back of the car. But yeah, so if you did like this video, please like and subscribe and share this video. And if you would like to find out where you can purchase these wings, we have a link below where you can purchase these for the FK7 or the FK8. Alright guys, let us know if there's any other videos you'd like to see on the Type R. We'll get that to you. Thank you.